It's so unusual in our sector to have the latitude to innovate, to take the time to look in the cracks and see what's missing, to
Yes.
look for unintended consequences, to
Yes.
try and fail, and to be transparent about that with your stakeholders. Can you unpack this more? Share more about your experience as a major gifts officer, as well as a leader of an organization. How you view this and some of the experiences you've had.
Yeah, yeah, I really appreciate that. In my early years at Free the Slaves, I observed the dynamic of, and this isn't saying anything about Free the Slaves. It was really sort of more true at the time of, I think, fundee, grantee relationships in general.
Mhm.
A lot of time the funder comes in and has like ideas of what should happen, right? Or like, I really like what you're doing in Ghana, but like, can you do it in, Haiti or whatever? And like, it's so tempting to be like, yeah, if you give us enough money, we can just expand it and support organizations there too. And instead of being like, this is our strategy, right? Because we've pressure tested like what we're capable of doing, where we need to grow, and getting people to share your vision. It's like I would never go into someone else's job and be like, oh, it should be this way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So trust that the experts know. And this was like the shift I saw. And it definitely leads our work now, which is like, I respect if this is not the change that you want to see, or this doesn't make sense, or this is just not how you want to give your dollar. But because you want to do this, I can't pivot the organization and the strategy to appease you. And I felt like when you put that energy out instead, you actually attract all the donors. Like you attract who you want because they see your confidence and they see
Mhm.
your clarity. And then I think that has also been a huge shift amongst donors, and that there's been a really active conversation happening in the philanthropy world over the last 20 years, which has been about not creating that like funder grantee power dynamic. And there's some tremendous funders out there who have found incredible ways to let the experts and the orgs lead and support, but also push, right? Doesn't mean they can't push you. It's just more about how you would invest in a founder and their vision for a company versus what those guardrails would be, versus just you're here to carry out my philanthropic dream. you know?
Right, right. Well, yeah, I think many major gifts officers are afraid of losing a gift from somebody who, you know, isn't okay with failure, or who wants us to see a specific thing, or whatever. But I think your point is, I mean, I agree with it. I think your point is right, that if that's the case, don't be afraid of losing those dollars because they're misaligned anyway. And there'll be more and better, more aligned dollars coming your way if you're just authentic about it.
The money you don't want, if you it's actually just as important as the money that you do want, because then you don't spend time cultivating it when you actually don't want it.